sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
Well done, Jim Carrey. Well done. And major props for having enough courage, enough balls to confront the world on their despicable behavior and dismissal of an ugly situation. Jim Carrey nailed this situation between Will Smith and Chris Rock. It's a very teachable moment on respect, on rules, laws, and how we should function as a society. I fully agree with what Jim Carrey said. What Will did was a very, very weak, simp beta move, without a question. He goes from laughing at the joke made of his wife, falling back with his belly out laughing, to all of a sudden becoming her puppy dog and assaulting a comedian on stage. This is beyond ridiculous, man. This is the biggest display of simp at the biggest venue. And that moment will never go away. Gayle King on CBS says it escalated. I'm going to quote Jim Carrey. It never escalated. It came out of nowhere because Will has something inside of him. Great, great line. And it shows that Jim Carrey is has great emotional intelligence and is a very rational man's man. Will has all this over the years, the past few years of his wife degrading him, the public throwing shots at him, his children, whatever. He has a lot of built-up anger. He isn't a happy man. We've seen Will cry every single year for the past 4 years. That's not normal for a man to cry excessively, like the way he does. So obviously he has a lot. This is a man that's in pain. And it's a lot of it is self-inflicted because he refuses to be a man. You know what they say, women punish weak men. So all this built up anger, frustration is what caused that blow. Again, back to the proof. He goes from laughing at a joke towards his wife to all of a sudden becoming a bulldog. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. So the source of his pain, his frustration, his torture is clear. It's not Chris Rock he should be hitting. he's directing his anger towards the wrong person, the wrong people. Okay? Gayle King started the show with her own narrative, and after hearing Jim Carrey eloquently, clearly speaking about the facts of the situation, she was at a loss for words because you can't dispute what Jim Carrey said. It's logical, it's rational. It's coming from a logical and rational place, from a real man. Because real men are great rational thinkers. We're not irrational. Irrational is beta. That's emotional. That's more in your feminine state. So once Jim Carrey explained everything, Gil had nothing to rebuttal because he's 100% correct. Why can Hollywood, the Academy Awards, why didn't they behave that way? Why were they cheering and clapping at somebody that committed a crime? Stop and think. Stop. Get out of your emotions. Stop being ignorant and ask yourself that. This is why Jim Carrey called Hollywood weak. Because that is the ultimate, that's the ultimate low. It's inexcusable that Hollywood did that. And Chris Rock is another alpha male because he could have pressed charges on Will Smith. Will Smith could have had a mugshot. And that one incident where he became feminine and reacted with emotion could have tarnished and destroyed his whole career. Mugshot, jail. Think about that. Think about that. Chris Rock prevented that from happening. He wasn't in his emotions. He thought he had empathy for Will Smith. If I do this to Will, this and this and this will happen to him. Thinking. Rational men are strong. Real men are strong, rational thinkers. We think about the consequences of our actions. You don't think Chris Rock could have continued throwing jokes at Will Smith after the assault? You don't think Chris could have done that? He chose not to because he's a rational thinker. He chose not to defend himself. He chose not to crack any more jokes to destroy Will because he's an excellent comedian. He let the situation roll over. So Chris Rock deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. He deserves everything great, all the awards, because of his stoic, manly, alpha male behavior that he demonstrated under extreme circumstances. He managed to retain his rational alpha mind. Assault in society is never acceptable. Over words, assault. It's against the law. It is a violation that comes with consequences. The only time somebody should assault somebody is when their or their loved ones are in imminent danger. I'm going to say it again. Alpha males, rational men, use their fists, turn to violence when they themselves or some of their love within their reach are in imminent danger. That's the only time a man should become violent. All right, guys. Once again, shout out to Jim Carrey. I want to hear your thoughts, man. Before anything, subscribe to this channel. And please, 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 give me your thoughts. Peace. One love.
Move your body, nice and slow for me. Move your body, move your body, nice and slow for me. Move your body.